Good morning and welcome to First Chapter Friday. This Friday I will be your host, Mike Tavius Marion, and I'll be introducing to you Jade Fire Gold by June Tan. Before, the boy clung tightly to his sister's hand when they fled the palace, afraid that if he let go, he might lose her forever. Their home was no longer safe, not with their father dead and the stench of betrayal in the air. Into the night, they followed their mother through the streets of Beisho toward the western border, hoping to find refuge in the last place anyone would think to look for them, the desert. It was no place for a royal family, but Empress Ojiro prayed to her gods that the shifting labyrinth of sand might keep them hidden. They followed the nomadic trails, slept in a different place each night. Sometimes in tents, sometimes under a blanket of stars. They changed their names, their appearances, the way they spoke. But eventually, the soldiers came. And with them, a man clad in a shroud of black smoke and red fury. The man who would not rest until the royal family was dead. Against all odds, the boy survived. A passing caravan of nomads found him a few days after a massive sandstorm. Motherless, sisterless, dehydrated and feverish, he teetered on the edge of death. Nails torn off completely, dried blood crusted over his fingers. The nomads asked no questions of this strange boy. The boy who hated the desert with every fiber of his body, yet was forced to remain in its protection. The boy so broken inside that they thought he might never smile again, that his eyes would never see the light. The boy could not, nor would not. And when he finally did, with a voice full of gravel, he uttered only one word, again and again. A name he would repeat in his sleep, sometimes murmuring, often screaming. Saranjero, the name of his beloved twin sister, the sister he had failed to protect. He scared the nomads in the early days, but they kept him alive. They healed his wounds, fed him, and taught him their language and ways. Despite their kindness, the boy thought this would be his fate, to wander the sands forever, lost in nightmares. But the crafty gods had other plans. One day, someone came for him, a man, loyal to the dead emperor, his father. He shepherded the boy from the desert and across the waters, bringing him to distant lands in the warmer colonies of the south. Slowly, that broken boy began to stitch himself whole again, though the tears would never align perfectly. A cavernous hunger grew in him, deep and bitter. It would only be sated when wrongs were made right. It is said that the gods test a man for a purpose, that they would never place a burden on him he could not bear. But the boy held a different view. The gods were cruel, and men were merely puppets in a grand play staged for the amusement of bored immortals. He vowed to snatch his fate from their hands, so he bided his time, waiting for a sign. One dawn, an unusual call was heard in the misty mountains of Wudin, and some villagers claimed they had seen the elusive Fenhuang circling its rugged peaks. It was a rebirth. The phoenix had not been seen for over a century. Something was reawakening, and the boy was ready. Thank you for listening to this First Chapter Friday and an amazing book by June Tan.